Hi again. It's good to see you all, or hopefully at least it's good for you to see me, because obviously I can't quite see you through my camera. I'm just going to have to use my imagination here and pretend that I'm not alone in my room right now. Anyway, this week we're going to be finishing off Chapter 2, looking at what are called the measures of position. That is, position thinking in terms of both the rest of the data set and also some of our measures of central tendency, that is, our averages. So for this, we've got things called fractiles, which besides building in nicely with the idea of the median that we talked about in the last section, actually not the last section, section 2 before that, 2.3. A lot of stuff going on here. But anyway, those will also build into things called a 5-number summary, as well as a special construction for representing them called a box plot. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, and then we're also going to finish off here with another construction called a z-score, which works specifically in terms of the mean and standard deviation in much the same way as Chebyshev's theorem and the empirical rule did at the end of what was actually last section, 2.4, not 2.3. And that'll also lead us off into stuff we're going to see more of in sections 5.1, 5.2, and really all of chapters 5, 6, and 7 when we get on to properly describing the normal distribution. So this is actually a really nice section to end on here because it bridges off some stuff that we've seen and sets up some things that we're going to come back to in about a month. But realistically, I should understand that your priorities are elsewhere based on what we've got this week. I may not have chosen the most lucrative use of my degree, but I'm not silly enough to miss that you'll prioritize the exam when given it's up there. Anyway, for this week, we don't have a whole great big deal of new material to cover, obviously, because of that, where our first big deadline for the week is to get the assignments for MyLab's chapters 1 and 2 finished and submitted by Wednesday night. Now, that deadline is as it has been for the first few weeks here, and it's going to stay as it is. But you can expect that I'm going to give an extension on that. I've probably mentioned this somewhere else. I'm going to mention this in class. I'm going to mention this in announcements. I want to be very clear about it, that due to the way I have the deadlines and partial credit set up with Pearson and to make the adjustments that I want, I need to be able to have a deadline pass first, get the gradebook set up, get all of your scores in there before the exam, and then I'll reopen what I want to. The things I'm not going to reopen are extra credit assignments, but you should expect to get a little bit more time, maybe a day or two, to finish up whatever's left for you from the homework and quiz assignments that are not specifically marked as extra credits. But gotta have that Wednesday deadline in there to make sure the grades balance properly and to make sure everyone has as clear a picture as possible heading into that first exam. So get all of your work done before then so you don't have to worry about it at all. And sorry about the emails you might get from those assignment adjustments. I can't do a whole lot in Canvas to make that work. And I love that I'm recording right now during a thunderstorm. Even though my microphone can't pick up thunder unless it's truly ridiculously loud, it does feel properly atmospheric for this recording. Anyway, we've got our MyLab deadlines. Hopefully you know about that now, but I'm sure people will still email me at 11:50. There's nothing I can do to avoid that. Because after that, well, we have our first exam. And within that as well, I'm going to take one chance here to remind you about our study guide as well. It's a very, very small bit of extra credit you get from that. The point of the assignment is to make sure you know it exists, and I want to remind people that you've got until Thursday to get that done, because you should do the exam before, not the exam before the study guide before the exam. What I said doesn't make any sense. Do the study guide first. It doesn't really matter that much if you submit it, but hey, every point can count at the end. I do like to see people are putting in that extra effort, but get those in because we have the exam on Friday. And you should have seen plenty of information about what you can expect from the exam by this point. If you haven't, check out the Canvas page, check out the study guide, look at the announcements I've made. I don't view exams as the time for surprises. If you actually use your resources for this, you should be very well prepared, if not over-prepared, for our first exam here. And then after that, we have a pre-assessment to finish us off and get us going towards our next unit, beginning with Chapter 3, and also talk a little bit about what you maybe did or didn't do to get ready for that exam, which, yeah, that's probably what you're most focused on right now. So let's get Chapter 2 done and get to preparing for that.